Hello guys, welcome to Skyrim Mods of the Week episode 484, and let's not get to it. Now I'm going to show you the cinematic flame mod. That's right. Basically this increases the... what's it called? Well, basically this is the vanilla flames, and basically downloading the cinematic flame mods, which should come out now, basically adds more resolution to the flame effects within the game. Now the first thing would be obviously the destruction spell. As you can see here, there's a lot more resolution and a lot more sharpness in the flames. As you can see here. Now as I cause a bit of a fire in our girly place, I'll just show you science effects. There's, in that picture in the corner, there's much more sharpness, much more resolution, and a much more defined fire effect, as you can see. And a much more sort of smoke it gives off too. A lot of you may be thinking there's not much of a difference. There's a bit of a difference, it's a lot more sharper and stuff. So yeah, check it out, it's quite good. And just, here's some more fire effects, here's some smouldering. Here's a little less smouldering. And here is the torch effect, where it just looks a little bit more sharper. So yeah. And finally, there is the pyre effect, where I think it's the most noticeable, where the sharpness of the flame is much more clear, much more defined. Alright, and now we're going to move on to Beauty Faces by Bella mod. And basically this is the changes the appearance of the female face, and this is the vanilla face. And this is the Beauty Face by Bella mod. And basically, as you can see in the right here, basically shows the before effects and the after effects. And basically, makes all the women look like the below. Unfortunately, in Skyrim they had to be more makeup than snow to have so many red lips. So yeah, I'm not particularly that fond of it. Okay, and the next mod will be another texture mod. Anything but. Will be the Uberwolf mod, which basically makes those werewolf fans, your werewolf, much more high textured and much more of a high resolution. Now this is the vanilla werewolf, and as you'll see, not much different at all. Nah, it is a bit different. There's much more higher resolution, as you can see on the right, where the wolf is much more definable, much more defined by light and things like that. Yeah, so for you looking for a higher resolution wolf, check it out. Okay, no, I haven't lost my keys. This is the Skyrim landscape texture mod. And yeah, I know most of you don't play Skyrim to stare at the floor all day, but one of you is just going to look down one day and see that green blur we're all used to and just cry. So for those people, unstable people, here's the Skyrim HD texture mod. Makes the ground pretty. And you can see in the corner there all the before and after effects of what it looks like before, where it's all blurry, and what it looks like after. Now I probably recommend this best to people who play in medium texture settings, because all these high resolution textures, as I found, don't affect your performance at all. Now guys, we're going to do a top 5. Top 5 texture packs. Okay, the first we're going to do is the Flora. Number 5 is the Flora Fauna mod. And as you can see here, the tree in Whiterun kind of looks like they just bought it from IKEA. Now if you download this, we'll show you some difference. Now as you can see, it's got much more higher texture, it's got much more detailed bark. It's basically much nicer. They are, as you can see at the right corner there, and the left, things like sticks and trees become much higher resolution. It's 5 because it's not without its problems. It's a work in progress, but as you can see here, some of the branches, some of the textures look like they're compiled into each other, and that ain't great. But other than that, the texture is pretty detailed. And you've got the same up here. If you just look at the branches, you'll find that all the textures have sort of compiled into each other, and it hasn't been the best effect. So that's why it's number 5. Number 4 will be another landscape texture mod, which changes the landscapes. Obviously, it changes the. Again, I'm not looking for my keys. We'll just show you the difference here. Now that's the difference. Here's it in effect, and as you can see, there is virtually no difference at all. But just above, I can show you the pictures of the difference between before and after shots. Okay, the next mod we're going to show you is the more detailed mountains mod. That's number 3, and as you can see, there is a bit of a difference. It's got much more higher texture, but now, well, a lot of you are thinking, hey, that's not much different at all. The mountains and rocks in Skyrim have a collision mesh, which adds a little bit of an incline into the rocks for detail. But if you can look at the resolutions, they're a lot more detailed, a lot more high resolutions, but I would understand that you would think there's not much of a difference at all. Now, here at night, where we just sort of see, showing you the full elaborate, you know, with all the mountains and stuff and everything lit by the torch. Alright, and the next thing we're going to do.
Why? Why there? No place safe.
My bed's safe. Okay, and the next thing we're going to do is the Whiterun texture mod by Chris2012. That's number 2, and as you can see, it's a lot more detailed, and the sort of the banisters there are a lot more detailed, a lot more defined. You see the wood and bark and everything like that, and the pillars, and it just looks a lot much better. And the one thing I like to point out is that I've always been playing in medium settings, and all these mods you download will make the game look much better, and at the same time offering 0 drop in frame rate. As you can see the picture above, that's the difference between Yoravaskar and before and after, and a house before and after, where the table looks much different and everything like that. Alright, and I'll show you more of it where we go into the palace, whatever his name is, and sort of, as you can see here, the pillar is a lot more definable, and as you notice, your grandma's carpet is in her full glory right here. And it's just little details like that that people can enjoy.
I might just be a servant among lords, but don't think for a moment I don't take my duties as seriously as the Jarl himself takes his.
Which is just sitting in your throne wanking all day. Alright, okay, as you can see here, the hankies hanging from the ceiling, they're a lot more detailed and stuff like that. Now, one thing that's not detailed is the tables. The tables that are not particularly an object within, a sort of definable object within the Whiterun, are still got a blurry texture. As you can see the difference there. The floor is a lot more detailed and a lot more textures, and the tables are just a lot more blurry, as you can see here, the difference between the carpet, the table, and the thing. Now, the first walkout number 1, which makes the tables a lot more high textures as well as everything else, is the Skyrim HD texture. Well done, Skyrim HD texture. You are number 1. And as you can see, it's quite wonderful. It's got quite similar to the Whiterun mod, but obviously chairs, my favourite thing. Tables are a lot more high textured. The whole palace as well, and it's a lot more high resolution. And again, this affects the whole game, and at the same time, for those who play in medium settings, this is a godsend because it makes you suffer no frame rate at all, frame rate loss at all. Now, I don't necessarily know if it changes the outfits of the people, but what it does changes the walls. Everything looks a lot more clearer and a lot more distinguishable and defined. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is the Cleric Armor. And the first thing you notice about the Cleric Armor is obviously the shoulder pads. And they're sort of round, they look like shoes sitting on top of a shoulder, and it's quite cool, it's quite elegant and quite thing. If you download this replaces the Wolf Armor in the game. The Wolf Armor is sort of made, I don't know by what, but this armor is pretty cool. And so for those who are playing, this only works for female characters, so for those who play female characters, for whatever reason you want to play this download it. I'll put a link below. And here it is on someone else. It's on Ayla the Huntress, and it looks absolutely fetching on her. But she has different braces. Now, as you see, the rain's coming down. She's getting all wet and stuff. And that's just basically on a different character right there. And as you can see, I'm going to... these two are looking at each other with intense stares. And that's the comparison there, as you can see from the side. And as you can see from the front, there's a little skin showing. So that isn't great for battle, but it is great for those lonely Sunday nights. Alright, and the one other thing I want to show you quickly is Xenius, who's been doing lots of character enhancements, eyes, face and stuff like that, has released a whole package of mods which allow you to complete the whole face and stuff like that. Now, well, he hasn't fixed the Children of the Corn eye thing yet. If for those who want the whole pack, I'll put a link below where you can download his whole mods compiled together.
Father says I'm too young to train with the sword, so I practice with my fists.
Well, I'm going to practice with my fists.
See Bellathor at his store. Sleazy little man.
Sleazy little man?
He has good stock.
Oh, alright. You mean Bellathor.
Father says I'm too young to train with the sword, so I practice with my fists.
You know, if you come on too strong, that puts off people.
Dragons could swoop down at any time.
Oh, the only thing that's swooping down is me.
I'm too young to train with the sword.
Oh, Jesus Christ, I'll call you!
Ain't nobody high and mighty in these halls, except in the Jarl. And don't you forget.
Alright guys, this is the high texture outfit mod, which makes things like fine dresses, fine clothes, much more high textures instead of the usual blur, as you can see here.
I might just
things
be a servant
are a lot more high textures, so for those of you that sort of walk up to people and playing a medium texture and you find, oh, that's why you're wearing a blur, this fixes that, and I'll put a link below.
If my cleaning gets in your way, just say the word and I'll be off.
Do you want some Kleenex? Alright. And here's more examples here where the primary thing he puts on is clothes for children. I hate clothes being on children, but never mind, it's what you're into. And here is the texture pack on a man. Obviously he's wearing an undershirt, which is still blurry, which is funny, but he's wearing an overshirt.
What's wrong with you?
It's not my fault, I just have bad resolution. I've got too many complaints about it.
What do you want?
I'm sorry, I'll start releasing mods of the week. Just let me really this one. I'm sorry. As you can see here, it's still an older woman. Some things are still blurry and some things are not blurry, so I don't understand how that works, whether it's different textures. And for the final example, here's Sigrid. That's right, honey. Those are some hot textures. I think she's the best example of what she wears of this mod, where things are really clear. The overalls and the overshirt are really clear and really.
Have a drink with me, sweet.
Yep, that's right, honey. Turn around. Let's take a look at those textures.
Drunk again, Embry? Don't let Alvar hear you talking to me.
Oh, that's right.
He'll stick your head in his forge.
I'll stick my head in your forge.
So that's a no, I take it.
Yep, that's the texture pack for the clothes, and I'll put a link below. Alright, last mod we're going to do is the HQ chicken mod, and it makes chickens all look great.
Don't even think about it.
Hey lady, I'm into kids, not chickens. Okay, and basically as you see, I was wandering off, it changes the chicken from a sort of blurry little creature thing into a lovely, wonderful chicken. As you can see, it's quite a magnificent beast.
Riverwood's agreeable enough, I suppose, for a Nord village.
Oh my god, it also makes it talk! Say something else.
There's beauty here, unmatched in all of Skyrim.
Oh, I agree. Okay guys, that's Skyrim, Mods of the Week, episode 96. Okay, next week we'll be doing 1,000 quests and a high texture invisible cloak. Okay, bye!